Hello and welcome to Webhub's podcast. My name is Tanmay Bhat. Webhub has asked me to give you guys gyan on a bunch of things, ranging from startups to marketing to content. Know that all my thoughts are not written in stone. I am thinking aloud. So, don't get angry at me if you don't agree with me. You know, if we disagree, we disagree. It's not a big deal. I'm thinking and I'm growing. So before you enjoy the rest of the episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you hit that like button, more people know that you enjoyed this, so more people will likely enjoy it. The algorithm will be like, मैं तेरे पे भरोसा करता है, मैं और push करेगा. And of course, subscribe. Nothing goes if people subscribe, Vaibhav. If you subscribe, the video shows up on your timeline. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you want to watch it, watch it. It's like window shopping. So make sure you subscribe and enjoy the episode.
Hey Tanmay,
Yo.
welcome to the show, which doesn't have a name as of now. To be very frank, it's going to be talking marketing with Tanmay Bhat.
Awesome. Nice to be here. I heard if I do something with you, I will get 500,000 followers on LinkedIn the next day. Is that true? This is what I heard.
Let's hope so. If that's the case, next time I'll start charging people.
Man, Weber, what bot farm are you running, Weber? I want to know.
My bot farm are real people out there who really love it. But also, man, I'm so glad that you could make it. A lot of people have been asking me, man, how did you get him on board? I said, dude, I just DM'd him on LinkedIn.
Just cold. I'll tell you what you did correct. It was succinct and to the point, and you had credibility. And somebody else, I think it was Ranveer Alabadia, who pinged me saying you should do something with him. And I said, okay, this seems fair. I think I could. Then I looked you up. I heard you were doing this course, and I saw all your LinkedIn stuff. I said, okay, this guy looks legit. Let's do it. I didn't really think much. I said, let's do it.
Awesome. I've got a play button from Tanmay right now. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very, very excited. So the first question that I had, actually thought was something that you already answered, which was, why the hell are you even doing this? When you said yes, I was wondering, why would you do this at all?
I think one of the main reasons that I now actively do, the odd podcast. I did Advertising is Dead recently.
Yeah.
That's where I think you discovered me talking about marketing. I think most people know me as Tanmay Bhat, the comedian. Tanmay Bhat AIB is it's 7-8 years of that content that I made. But nobody knows the startup-y side of me. When I say startup-y, I mean there is a method to the madness. It's not blind, just raw, just talent, right? There's a lot of stuff that can be learned from what content creators do. And touchwood, I think I am a little bit lucky that I'm able to articulate some of them. So I started doing these and I started getting great feedback. So I was like, okay, maybe I should do more. Also, what happens is when I do these podcasts, I myself am able to, like a good interviewer, will ask something where I will be forced to articulate an insight for the first time. Then I'll be like, oh, that's how you articulate this. Cool. And it helps me convey what I want to say to people, which in turn helps me save time. So it's sometimes nice to be able to discover the script to explain insights on a good in a good interview. So yeah, that's why I started doing these on and off. I think when I did Advertising is Dead, Varun Dugirala is an old friend of mine, and he and me have always spoken about this stuff, marketing agencies, etc., etc. So I actually hit him up saying this is a good time. I have a lot of new live streaming thoughts that I have. Maybe this is a good time to do it. He said, let's do it. I knew the comfort level was such that I could articulate myself. I would have the room to do it in a way that I wanted to. That's why I did that. So yeah, this is why I'm doing this, and this is why I'm now exploring these things.
Yeah, so the way I actually saw the other side of you was through the podcast, right? The podcast actually made me realize that, oh man, this guy is not a stand-up comedian only. He understands advertising, he understands marketing. That's when I realized that you've had some level of advertising background as well. And when you spoke about stuff, right, I was like, damn, fuck, this is insane. I need to get this guy. And
I don't have
yeah.
any advertising background in the sense that I interned at an agency, and I've done a lot of brand work. But I think what's there's not a big difference between advertising content and creating content, creating viral non branded content as well. Content is content. It is, I think, over the last 10 years, my feedback loops have been short and quick, and I've been able to do the same thing so often that I'm now able to predict applause. So when you look at something, you're like, this will work, this won't. The judgment has been refined over time. So I don't have I don't have advertising experience. I'm sure there are merits of understanding brand and demographic and stuff like that. I think my core strength lies in looking at something and being like, if we do this, it will generate more applause, or that this probably won't work. I can save you money by saying this won't work.
Are you saying that basis of what you have done in the past in terms of brand collaborations, or are you talking about you having this sense right from the college? Because I also heard that you were this advertising geek where you'd follow a lot of people in advertising, like literally like
Where do you hear
preach
that?
them, celebrate them.
I think I was very good at English in school. I used to get marks for original writing by Mrs. Putran, who was my English professor, and that gave me a little bit of a push, saying you should probably explore your expression. But I never wrote a ton of copy or anything like that. I was always creative because I think I keep joking that I was an attention whore, but I think a need for validation, a need to make friends, a need for external validation made me a performer. And I think in turn, it spurred creativity and expression. So yeah, I was fascinated with ad men who found success. I was fascinated with, Prasun Joshi, Piyush Pandey, Balki and the likes. I used to obsessively read their interviews. I was an agency FAQs.com nerd. I used to be on it every single day. And by the time I got in admission into BMM, I knew more about every agency, what brand is with what agency. I would know salaries of Leo Burnett copywriters. I would know what a copy soup gets. I would know what a creative director gets. I had mapped out my future like that. But I never actually ended up in advertising because I don't think it was real. I don't think it was true deep love. The day I discovered television writing, I just immediately jumped to writing for television. Um, there was more glory, there was more money, it was more glamorous, and the feedback loop was very short, which is what actually.
Were you ghostwriting or like
No,
literally?
I was writing scripts.
Okay.
I was in third year of college. Roshan Abbas's company, Encompass, was commissioned by Bindas to make shows for Bindas. Ronnie Screwvala, Zarina Mehta were judges at a college festival. Zarina Mehta put me through to Encompass. I started writing for television there. I made a ton of friends. I started writing when I was 19 for a bunch of television shows. I wrote a lot of television for like 5 years. In fact, I felt sick at one point because I was writing 5 shows simultaneously, and I was just eating and writing for 3 years non-stop. I felt sick, and the doc said you should probably just go easy. And luckily, around then is when stand-up happened. So I was able to make that jump because
What year was this? What year was this?
2003 was when I left school. So 2005, 2008. 2008, 2006. I forget what year I graduated. I don't remember. But it was stand up happened 2009, end 2009, 2010. Or it's 2010, 2010. I forget one of these 2 years. AIB happened 2012, mid
Okay.
2012, I think. So it was 2 years of stand up. I was working with Veer Das. So yeah, there was the 4 years of television between 2006 to 2010, where I wrote a lot of television.
And how did eventually AIB happen at all?
So Khamba used to run his own podcast, and he was very inspired by WTF with Mark Maron. So he wanted to document the comedy scene in India, and he was moving to Bombay. He was studying at TIS, and I really wanted Khamba's validation. So I stalked him at all his shows, and I went and met him. I thought he was hilarious, and he said, "I'm thinking of doing this podcast." I said, "Do you want to host? Do you want to co-host?" He said, "Sure, let's try it." And I had all the hookups. When I say hookups, I mean I knew 3 producers. So I said, "Come, let's record one." We recorded one, and we just put it out there, and the podcast started doing well. We were number 1 on iTunes from episode 2, 3 onwards. Then Rohan and Shax came on as guests. Then Khamba also joined Weird Ass Comedy with me, and the 4 of us did stuff at Weird Ass Comedy for a few months. Then we left, and then we started doing video for AIB.
Yeah, I would say that fourth year, third year of my engineering when I started to see your videos, right? Like,
Yeah, so at that time it wasn't. At that time, reaching 1 million was like, we got 1 million views. That's crazy. I remember the first. It's Your Fault was the first big video. It clocked 3-4 million in like 10 days, and for us it was like, wow, this is like a worldwide viral hit and blah 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 blah. So yeah,
which one was this? The song.
it was a video called "It's Your Fault" with Kalki. It was one of the first videos
Okay.
that had truly gone viral. We were on the news at 9 p.m. Can you imagine a video with 2 million views in a day? We were on the news. That's how it functioned then. If a video went viral, you were on the news directly. Like that. Though this was that time where mobile wasn't there was no Geo. This was not that time. 3G, I think we were still operating in 3G. I don't even know if 4G was around. I forget.
No, that makes a lot of sense, right? The penetration, the in terms of watching videos, everything has gone up right now. But again, right, coming back to the same point where I think you were one of those first brands. Back in the day, I was working with Uber, right? And I would get excited every time a brand does some level of integration with you people. You did with Swiggy's of the world, bunch of internet startups, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of knew also how much you used to charge for an integration, which was a bomb. And that was
Really,
the
how much
first
did we
time.
charge?
So back in the day when I heard it was like 25 lakhs a video or 30 lakhs a video.
Yeah. The numbers went till there because it became unsustainable, right? Unlike an individual creator, because we had an office and everything, and I didn't like doing branded integration. To me, it was like I wasn't a fan of it because we never really got to do what we truly wanted to do. It was always a fight. It was a necessity to run the office. It was always like that. I never enjoyed doing it. Some of them were really fun to work with. I think Bacardi, I had a ball working with Bacardi because they let us do anything that we wanted, and it was a free hand. I mean, Ritviz came from there, right? Because we went and told Bacardi saying, forget sketches. We'll do music. And they were like, what? You guys do music? And I said, distribution is distribution. If you reach enough people, a good song will work irrespective on whatever channel that there is. Because I used to look at labels, right? What did Sony Music actually give you? They gave you distribution because they did 50 songs. They had that channel, and that channel is where people expect music. That's what they gave you. So I said, distribution is distribution. If I have it, a good song will work. Yeah. So that worked with Bacardi, and then we were going to do it for a
Udgaya,
second.
right?
Udgaya was the big thing. And I think since then I've spoken to so many musicians who I keep telling them that you own your own distribution. Don't be dependent on, somebody else. So even now I keep telling Ritviz that. Sometimes Ritviz is like, hey, I have this song, do you want to release it on your channel? I said, I'd love to, but you should put everything on yours. Just fucking grow your own thing. It makes sense.
Since we're talking about distribution, I had this question of, are we literally owning the distribution channels? We are specifically talking about YouTube right now, and we saw the Carrie Minati's videos going down. Do you see that it makes sense for bigger content creators from the likes of the international content creators to people like you to build your own channel, own distribution going beyond YouTube? Does that make sense ever?
I think it's important to own distribution on multiple platforms because, but I also think that the best creators will survive are platform agnostic, right? They will find a way to be big on every platform. The cool thing about YouTube is actually this is not true. YouTube has a certain game, TikTok has a certain game, Instagram has a certain game. Every platform has its own game for growth, but roughly, I'm going to say it again, but roughly it all comes down to dopamine, right? Like how addictive is your content on each platform. So I think the smartest creators will have a different game on YouTube, a different game on Instagram, a different game on LinkedIn. I know I do. I have a different game on each platform. In fact, I think my weakest platform is Instagram. I haven't figured out exactly what I need to do there, but I'm figuring it out.
But you see that, TVF tried this, right? Back in the day where they built their own TVF Play.
Yeah, it was a great idea. In fact, if all TVF, I think, of all the OTTs, their shows have been the most consistently solid, right? I think they are the most consistent production company in the country in terms of storytelling. It's a pity that didn't work, I think, because I really think that I think running your own platform is a lot of work, yeah, Vaibhav. It's a crazy. You need deep pockets. There's going to be 5 platforms that survive, right? There's Jeff Bezos, there's Larry Page, Sergey Brin, there's Rupert Murdoch. Like there's Hotstar, YouTube, Amazon, Netflix, and probably one more. I'd say there's going to be 1 or 2 more players at best. I think everybody else it's gonna be difficult. The numbers just don't make sense. Oh, Geo now, yeah. But yeah, I think, and we're not even like Facebook hasn't even begun properly.
Yeah.
But these are the platforms that will survive. Otherwise, it's ridiculous to think of starting your own platform as a creator. But if you do something outside of, long form content or micro content, maybe there's something else. Like I think David Dobrik created tech over his own distribution, which was for photographs. I think that was really smart. I think that there is merit. Building things on top of your distribution is super smart, and I think more people should do it.
Awesome. So like right now, I have a question, right? Like right now, like are you like a full-time YouTuber? And what is your status right now? LinkedIn में title क्या है? Like अभी का title तो दिख रहा है, but you know what I mean.
I'm a full-time entrepreneur. My life and all my businesses is my startup. YouTube is one component of it. But I think people don't consider YouTubers as entrepreneurs. That's because conventionally YouTubers have not functioned as entrepreneurs. I put up. I don't look at I literally sometimes call my videos inventory. I use words like SKUs. I say product. I use those terminologies when I'm talking to brands. I as far as possible, I don't speak to brand managers. I try and speak to founders directly. I look at my life as a startup. So just yesterday I sat and made an Excel sheet, which is a 5-year Excel sheet, which is let's look at revenue growth over 5 years. If I need to reach here in 5 years, what do I need to do? I need to increase the number of rows. I need to increase the number of columns. 3 more revenue streams. How do I build that? What do I need to do? I'm actively seeking angel opportunities with young startups in the domains of edtech, gaming, anything to do with social, anything to do with content. And now I will start with fitness once my fitness vlogs are up and running. But yeah, I'm actively seeking to do that. So I would say I am a full-time YouTuber, but I am more a full-time entrepreneur than a YouTuber.
For sure.
Yeah.
A lot of sense. But you started with gaming, right? You're talking about fitness right now. You're talking about. You also spoke about personal finance, if I'm not wrong. You've started with that as well.
Learning and personal finance. Yeah.
And you started with gaming. Like, were you always been a gamer, or abhi ऐसे शुरू हुआ है? I've seen FIFA and all to an extent because I also play FIFA, but I don't call myself a gamer, right? So
yeah, I think I think I would call myself a streamer. I love gaming, and I mean, I think calling yourself I think gamer, the term is equated with, esports athletes. So
Okay.
I don't think I'm that. I think I'm an entertainer who likes gaming. Was I always a gamer? Yes, in the sense I would always play games. I basically, when I started making money through television, I just spent my money on PlayStation and games, right? Because growing up, family didn't have that much cash that I could afford to buy PlayStation then. So I bought my first PlayStation when I started making money. So I bought the PS2 first, then I got the PS3. I didn't even get the first PlayStation ever. Never had
So you're a
video games.
PlayStation boy. Okay.
PlayStation boy. Later on, I also got the Xbox because I just spent money like an idiot because I didn't know how to save. I was always a gamer, but I was diagnosed with clinical depression in December. I was playing PUBG 6 hours a day. I would get that notification, and every time I would get that notification, it would upset me to a huge degree because I was like, just 3 months ago, I didn't have time for meetings, and now
Right.
what is going on in my life? It would greatly upset me. It took me. I decided that I'm going to live stream about 4 5 months before I actually live streamed. I was in Bangalore. I decided I'm going to get a computer. It took me 2 months to just get a computer. I figured out the internet, and then right then I was like, I'm going to move back to Bombay and I'm going to do this. Move back to Bombay. I still didn't have the courage to start all over again. My channel had 2 3,000 subs then, just from
Yeah.
whatever old fans were there. I learned how to stream slightly, so all my first videos are all unlisted. I started doing it all over again. It's a second time founder feeling, right? Which is, while there are the advantages of a second time founder, it comes with a lot of its own baggage. The fears are even greater. If you've tasted success before in a domain, success again is almost, it's written. Of course you will find success.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that. Like, you know the content hustle, right? Like, it is still work. It is still applying your brain every single day. No one's gonna follow you just because you're popular. You like, I mean, you'll see that on Instagram, right? People who are significantly more popular than their following number, they won't have that many they won't have that many followers because
Yeah.
it requires work. Just because you're popular doesn't mean you won't get it. It requires a certain you still need to make content that pops up on enough people's feed that they go like, I should follow this guy, and then follow, right? That work still needs to be done, and that's the main work. It's the work. What happens with a new creator is you need to pop up twice. What happens with me is I need to pop up once at least for people to be like, I should follow him. So this is something that I know people say that, oh, second time usko to aana hi tha. It's like, first time also I began on my own, right? It wasn't like I wasn't fucking born famous. So I had to get it the first time. So yeah, second time, so that's when I started streaming. I was interested not in gaming, I was interested in streaming. Gaming is just the tool that you use while to engage an audience when you're live streaming. I knew
Low
then,
barrier.
huh?
Low barrier hai, gaming.
Low barrier है gaming. And it made sense that gaming would work, right? TikTok made, I think, I don't know if I said this on Advertising is Dead, but platforms that help create rock stars, right? So YouTube makes anybody who can make video rock stars. TikTok makes Instagram makes anybody who looks pretty and can photograph rock stars. TikTok makes anyone who's pretty and sing or dance or act rock stars. So can you imagine streaming games? The number of people who are not pretty, who don't know how to make video, but they love playing games, if there is potential for them to be rock stars, their top of funnel is way wider. It's significantly wider. Every kid wants to game. So I just knew then that gaming would be massive. So I started gaming.
Mota Bhai also said, right? Gaming is going to be the biggest industry in the.
It's a no-brainer. It's the most addictive piece of media, right? And now with most games being multiplayer, it's going to be the most social form of media. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's already happened in the West. The gaming industry is bigger than music and Hollywood combined. It's only a matter of time before it happens here.
Yep.
I mean, right now we think we find Salman Khan fanatics like, oh wow, you're a fanatic. I'm like, buddy, you don't even know gamers yet. You don't even know. You've come to PUBG land. You'll see how people behave. You'll see how crazy people are. Yeah.
So it's funny, right? So I do these. So I did daily live calls for 14 weeks straight. Okay, and then people would drop comments. Boom, because boom was my keyword. And then people, all of a sudden, since last 1 month ish, I've started to see OP in the comment box, and I've got no freaking idea what OP is. So then I started asking people what is OP, and then I kind of figured out that there is this gaming world which I'm not even aware of.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely insane.
It creeps up on you. The gaming world does. Yeah, OP. It began as overpowered. It's a way of. It's like it began as so you're playing a game and there's this gun. It's like a very good gun. So it's almost like a critique, right? Saying this gun is overpowered. Like you tell the
Right.
game developer saying this makes the game unfair. If you get this gun, it's gonna destroy you, right?
It's
So
choke slam of Undertaker.
yeah, like it's overpowered. It shouldn't be this powerful. Then it began as a way to just give a compliment, saying, dude, that was OP. Like, that was really good what you just did. Then it just became a thing where it's a joke tool now. Like, if say something happens and I'm feeling shy, right? But I'm not saying that I'm shy, but you can see it. So chat will be like shy OP. Like, you'll be like, oh, like, so it's just saying a word with OP as a way of like a joke. So people will pick, like, there was a guy the other day, I was raiding this guy on stream. His subscribe notification was Akshay Kumar saying miracle, miracle. It's a scene from some movie, right? And people start spamming Majnu Bhai OP because Akshay Kumar's character was Majnu Bhai. I didn't know what it means, but I saw Majnu Bhai OP in chat and I went like, oh, I just made the connection because now I'm like, okay, I now understand what you're trying to say. So it's a really cool. Words are what are words. It's just a way to help people communicate. So I find people who, make a big deal about this. I find it like this is a silly debate. Let's not get into it.
Bot army and
Bot
OP,
army.
and there are few words that I'm picking up. I've been like watching. You've been coming all over my feed on YouTube as well, and one TikTok video that I saw got me hooked, and I realized this is not. I always thought this is not the content I'm gonna watch ever, but then you watch a couple of videos, and then the dopamine kick that you say right kicked in, and I started watching a lot of videos like that, not just yours, but went beyond you. Started watching a few videos as well. So it's
Yeah.
really
So
interesting.
people say these are called reaction videos, right?
Yeah.
I kept away from TikTok for a very long time because the conversation around TikTok was just far too toxic, right? There was just so much. It was too many angry people on both sides, and I didn't want to be a part of that. My brand is very, like, I'm a very wholesome person. I stay away from any sort of confrontation, controversy now. I just want to have fun and laugh. That's all. I don't even read the news now. I actively stay away. Like when my friends talk to me saying, "How did you see this?" and I'm like, I don't know. I'm in my own world, and I just want to entertain people who are watching me. That's my main job. So the thing with reaction videos, the reason why reaction videos work is for two reasons. One, fans are curious to know your take on something, right? So initially, like Jabby Kue became super popular, right? Because it was, oh, he's not Indian. He's like like this white guy who's watching Indian stuff. So that was like, oh, I wonder what he thinks of us. PewDiePie is the world's biggest reaction video creator because people want to know his take on something. The second thing is, if the core video they are reacting to has high dopamine, right? Automatically, if you react to it, your video will have high dopamine because the core video comes with it. TikToks are designed for dopamine release. It's 15 seconds. So it was a no-brainer for me to do those videos because I'm like, imagine this piece already has dopamine over which I will lay two jokes. That's two more good moments over which I will edit it crisply. It's just tuck, 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 tuck. It's addictive. So it was a no-brainer for me to do these. Similarly, if you also react to things which have the graph is like this, which is there is an anticipation build-up, going all the way to the end, then there's a big payoff. If you react to stuff like this, automatically retention will be high because
Correct.
people are also waiting for this to happen. So I do Mummy Papa Pitai review, right? So I was like, makes sense. It's so Mummy Papa Pitai reviews. There's a whole, as I know, there's a whole bunch of YouTubers who do pranks on their parents, and it always ends with them getting pitai. That's the whole moment, right? So if you
Yeah.
react to these, automatically there's a graph in the video. There's a payoff at the end. So if you make the point of going up, if you make that interesting, then there's a payoff. Obviously, people will enjoy that. It's neuroscience. You can't help but enjoy it. So yeah,
It's like DJ running the music and then finally hitting those notes where people go crazy.
it's that.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
exactly that. Your brain works on anticipation, right? There is a perfect beat. There's something called a perfect beat, which is it. I forget what it is. It's some BPM, but it matches the beat of your heart rate. So your brain is able to predict it, and it has a biological prediction as well. So it just it releases a lot more in your head, in your brain. I forget what it is, but yeah, I think more content creators need to think about their content like this. Um, yeah, I, I I get so conscious sometimes when I'm talking to other content creators. I get very nerdy about this. I'm saying if you do this, no, then this will happen and this will happen. Then that's why you should do this. This is a great idea for you. I just now only avoid. I just speak to content creators who don't mind unsolicited advice now, because I was notorious for being that guy. For many years, I was like, तन्मय आके ज्ञान देके जाएगा बहनचो उसको. Sorry, I just dropped a cuss word, but yeah, people, it would annoy people saying, he just comes and gives gyan, and people get annoyed with that. So now I'm like, I'm just gonna sit and do my own thing. And now everyone's like, God damn, he's reached 2 million subscribers already. That's crazy. What is he doing? And now everybody wants gyan again.
Let's talk about that. So I was doing some social blade yesterday, checking how you grew. Freaking 9 months, 2 million subs.
Yeah.
I'll be frank. I saw you 7 months or 8 months back. I was like, why is Tanmay doing this? Like your videos were getting like 50K views, 100K views. I was like, why? What's happening? And then I thought you were actually enjoying it. Like, masti ke liye kar rahe
I
ho.
was enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then I saw like a month back, it was 1.4, 1.5, whatever. And right now we are 1.94 yesterday night. Like, dude, what is happening?
It's the
That is
power of
one.
compounding.
That is one. And two, the second question that I have, I don't want to like गुस्सा आने से वो plate फेंकना लेकिन कैमरा के ऊपर. That is, do you think this was possible if you were not Tanmay Bhat? Two questions.
Yeah. I think if I said that, of course, anyone could reach this, that would be a lie. Of course, it's easier for me because I have done this once before, right? So like I said, if I pop up in your feed, the trust already exists. Ki I should follow him. He has previously entertained me. So I will follow him. Look at your own behavior, right, Vaibhav? Look at your own behavior. If you look at someone on Instagram, why do you follow Ranveer Singh? If Ranveer Singh shows up on your this thing. Yeah, I'm not comparing myself to Ranveer Singh, but there is trust, which is, I know what he does, and I wouldn't mind having him on my feed. So conversion rate is higher. So I think my impression to follow ratio is much lower because I have done this before.
Correct.
Whereas for a new creator, a creator will have to do it twice, right? To build that trust. A new creator will have to, you'll have to watch one video, then you'll have to watch another video. And then you'll be like, And maybe you watch the third video, then you're like, okay, I'm in. Except that I've spent 10 years making you already do this for 10 times. So conversion ratio for me is higher. So of course it helps that I'm Tanmay. Of course. But am I going to put myself down for it? No, I've done the work before. So I don't need to feel bad about it. What was the first question?
What is this compounding that's happening? 2 mil, man. And you just got your 1 mil slab.
I just got my 1 mil slab.
Yeah.
2 mil. I have a 3.5 million goal by the end of the year. I want to beat that. So it's compounding, right? I like I said, I look at the YouTube channel as a startup. Most creators go. AIB was a moonshot creator, right? Which is I'll come once in 2 months. I'll say something so cool
Blow up
that it just blows up. I didn't want to do that anymore because I've played that game. I know what that is. I wanted to be WhatsApp. I wanted DAU to be mega high. I just wanted to be this thing. I also realized that most people don't know me. They don't know who I am, right? And I got this insight when I started live streaming. A lot of people start saying तन्मय पहली बार मेरे को आप पसंद आ रहे हो, आपको मैं ऐसा लगता है आपको मैं जानता नहीं था. And I felt like really, so a lot of people who didn't like me earlier would hate me because I was extremely opinionated, you know, were now slowly converting. And I went like, it's sad that you guys used to hate me and now that you see me more. So I said, oh, I like this feeling of being in someone's life every single day. I like that feeling. So I just built my ecosystem around me such that I'm able to output every day. And it adds power of compounding is you go from your base number of 100k videos, right? 100k views a video. 100k views a video then becomes slowly 200k views a video. That becomes 300k views a video. That becomes 400k. It becomes super powerful if you're able to suddenly do 1 million views a video. And if you're doing 1 million views a day, then you are really growing. Right?
That's what you're doing right now, right?
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing 1 million views a day. Like every video, it hits 1 million every day. Bell icon, I track my metrics to that, right? Like my bell icons need to keep increasing. So I need to do one big spike video that blows up every week, which goes beyond my subscriber numbers every week. So I'm constantly on the hunt for that. What is my next big? What is my next big? So power of compounding is you go from, you won't have linear growth. When your opportunities to hit big is few, you will have linear growth. You will do 300,000, you'll do 400,000, you'll do 500,000. But cumulatively, you go from 10 million views a month to you can go to 80 million views a month in 3 months. It would take you a much longer time if you weren't hitting
linear growth. Of course.
Yeah, it would take you a much longer time. So which is why I think the daily grind is super useful. It breeds habit. Your feedback loop is so short, so your judgment is higher. I can now tell when something's going to do better than the others. I can look at a video and say, this is 1.5 million. I can tell in the first 2 hours. I look at analytics and I see retention rate. I see retention rate. This retention rate is 60% today. This is going to do better than the others. I just know it. It's like you become best friends with the algorithm.
Sure.
And that is, oh, mama. You become best friends with the algorithm, and that will really help you grow on YouTube. But to be best friends with the algorithm is you gotta keep putting stuff out.
How are you coming up with these content ideas?
Oh, I think I don't think I'm doing that well actually. But I think one thing that I tell creators is don't try to reinvent the wheel. Go where the attention already is, right? Like my second channel, right? I looked at my second channel and I made a list of here are the 50 channels that made stuff about finance and learning. I really like this space.
Yeah.
You go to every channel, you look at the most popular videos. What are people actively interested in watching? Then you're like, now what is my take on it? This is what I would like to talk about. This is what my take on this subject is. So most people try to reinvent saying, from the scratch, I'll think of something that will
कुछ अलग करना है.
Go where the attention is. It's like a startup. Where is the problem? Where are people willing to spend money? Vis-a-vis, where are people willing to give their attention? What are people thinking about in their daily life? And go there. Don't think you are above what they care about. You have to be what they care about. So yeah, look at every success of every YouTuber, every success, what they've had. It will give you a very good estimation of this is what people care about.
Try to model that.
Go where they go. Sorry, I'm going to re-articulate. Go where people already are, and stand out there. Yeah, I think go where the attention is, and learn how to get more of it for yourself.
So make reaction videos better than Tanmay Bhat. That's the way
Make
to go.
reaction videos better. If you want more views than me on reaction videos, make it better than me. That's it. Yeah.
I slightly want to move away from YouTube. I want to talk a little bit about marketing and advertising, right? So I know you have some very interesting ideas. You have some very interesting perspectives. That is one. This is something that I strongly believe in. Obviously, a lot of people say that is opinion. Anyways, whatever the word is. The point is, do you think the future marketing leaders are going to come from these top Harvards and Stanfords of the world, or do you think that the top marketing leaders or the top people who can influence in terms of marketing are going to be creators?
I don't think it's an either or. I think previously I once made a poll saying which one of these do you think would make for a better marketing executive, MBA or someone who scaled an Instagram account. And people got angry at me saying, how can you say this, etc., etc., etc. Of course, I asked it on LinkedIn, a place where people pride their resumes, right? Which was probably a stupid thing to do. But I just want to put the question out there. I don't think the answer is either or. But I do think the best marketing professionals are those with refined judgment. And I think that people who have run circles around a feedback loop have more refined judgments. Now, you could understand a feedback loop by either studying many cases and data, or you could be doing things.
Correct.
Both of them ends up in the same thing. One of them shortens the route to a more refined judgment. That's all I'm saying.
What shortens the route?
Doing, creating shortens the route. Execution shortens the route to a refined judgment. However, it also depends on your core skill, right? If you execute badly a lot and you are not a fast learner, then you won't have refined judgment. But you pair a smart person into a marketing course and the same person creates, I think the same person will have a more refined judgment if he does things. So yeah, I don't think it's an either or, but I think these are the parameters to a good marketing executive. This is what you need at the end of the day. I just said that one of these is a faster way to get a refined judgment, which is creating. Doesn't mean the other won't have it. The other can. It comes with experience, or it comes with consumption of a study of loops. Depends on what they've studied, right? So yeah.
Do you see brands changing the way they're engaging with content creators back in the day when you were doing AIB to how it is being done right now? How are brands engaging with content creators on top of it right now? Yeah.
So I think core most brands, when they do influencer marketing, it's sex, right? I'm drawing an analogy, but I think what is required is marriage. This is my new opinion. I think for most young startups, and I actively try and speak to other influencers, their core motivations are misaligned. For most influencers, this is their dhanda. This is how they will make money. The more inventory they sell, the more money they make. The longer each inventory takes to sell, the lesser money they make. The quicker the transaction, the more money they make. Right? This is misaligned with what a founder wants. A founder wants you to care about every single inventory that he's buying. A founder wants you to make sure every single output is at peak performance. A founder wants you to do that. Whereas if the influencer got a piece of the upside, it wouldn't matter if he sells 50 SKUs. It would take 3 really great ones to take the founder to a place that he really wants to go, and you get a piece of the upside, which is greater than what you would if you sold your whole inventory. I don't think enough equity deals are being made. I think more creators, and I don't know why, because this is a country that is status driven. For most people, everything is about status. So influencers don't think long term because of it. Like, I am very confident I'm going to be relevant for the next 10 years. I just know I will figure out a way. then why would I want to have sex with a brand for 2 days when I can be like, let me align with this company that I believe is solid founder, great team. I can be like, let me give me some equity in your company in exchange for the inventory that I give. And because I think I come with a skill where I understand marketing, I can work with your team. You don't need our distribution necessarily. If you can build your own distribution, nothing like it, right? And I can, because I've been on both sides now, I can tell you where you can save money. It's so much more useful for a
But
founder.
Tanmay, how many people there are like you who understand?
There are very few. There's
Correct.
almost nobody else at this scale, right?
Yeah.
And that's a pity. I want that to change. I learned this when I was in Bangalore, right? I spent a lot of time with different founders, and I realized that, oh, I like this. If fundamentally, motivations are misaligned. I would love it if more brands teamed up with, and it's happening slowly. There are more long-term cash deals happening. Um, I I think that will turn into equity deals soon. It happens with the Virat Kohli. It happens with folks like those. It's not
Yeah.
happening with digital creators in the long run.
I mean, when you say that I directly work with the founders, I kind of got a feeling that you don't want to talk about the traffic that you generated, the swipe ups that happen, the click through rates that happen. You are talking probably more about impact, and the brand team will have a different set of metrics that they follow, while a founder might able to understand the bigger
Of
picture. Is
course,
that why you're talking to a founder, or
I am talking to a founder to see. I like to talk to founders now because it's just great to talk to founders. Founders are incredibly smart driven people, right?
right?
You are a product of who you speak and surround yourself with. So I like to talk to founders because of that. Especially for established brands, they've done something right. There's something to learn. But what is the long-term vision? Do I see myself, if I work with you once, will I work with you many, many times? If I see myself working with you many, many times, then I don't want to just do this one deal. Then let's talk longer. Then let's see. Also to see with the founder saying, what is the vibe like? What do I, does he understand my language? Do I understand his language? Is there something here? Then one call becomes two calls become four. Then eventually after 5 6 times you're like, okay, this is good, I like what you're trying to do. Introduce me to your marketing guy. Let me start
Yeah.
talking to him. Then I'll talk to the marketing guy. Then over 2 3 months, I'll now know a lot more. By the way, the deal that they came to me with is far gone. That's like, I'll do that for free,
Yeah.
man. But if there's something, if I think you're here for the next 10 years, then I'm like, cool, let me now open up and be like, I want to be part of this company. Here's what I can do for you.
Yeah, the point is there are not many Aston Clutchers in the world. There are not many Tanmay Bhatts in the world who understand beyond what they're doing. Like you're talking about a marriage, right? For
Yeah,
that to happen, you need to understand things beyond just the idea, right?
yeah,
And so I feel though we are talking about it, it's not gonna happen anytime soon with most of them.
yeah. I think it needs a significant more. What I've realized is, after talking to a lot of founders, is more founders are open to the idea than creators, right? I think it requires creators to understand business and what building a company means, more than founders. Founders understand. Founders are more on board the idea because founders just want to grow, right? It's
Yeah.
beautiful. There's a twinkle in their eye when you talk to them about insights. They feel like they actually care. I love talking to founders where I'm like, I won't just do, like, here's why this thing will work. Let's discuss the whys. So yeah, so I think, yeah, I think creators have a lot of work to do in this
And
area.
also on the creator side, most of the creators, what the feeling that I get is they don't look long term. They don't look at the long term view. They're like, abhi paise banaya, bana ke nikal gaya, khatam.
Yeah, yeah.
That's also there, right? Do you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. Creators are very. It's status driven. It's a quick get. It's almost feels like cash in while you are here. And I get it, man. It's a country of 1 billion people. You almost feel super lucked out. This is a country where only famous people and their children or friends are famous people and their friends are
Are you trying
successful.
to stay away from the world?
Huh?
Are you trying
No,
to
no,
stay away from the world?
nepotism. No, I'm not trying to stay away from nepotism at all. I think nepotism exists everywhere.
It
It's
does.
even more it's even more magnified when it comes to the movie industry, and emotions are high because when it comes to the movie industry, and I get it. Nobody wants to feel like they're being cheated. Nobody wants to feel like the feeling that someone has, which is I won't have a shot in the world if I don't know someone famous. Nobody wants that feeling. So I get that feeling also. But yeah, there's a feeling that I have achieved this. This could go away anytime. I don't know about it. There's a feeling that exists, and I get it. Again, I want to give a very big caveat here. All my thoughts are working thoughts. They are not set
WIP.
in stone. I might change my mind 2 months later based on my own experiences. They are all working thoughts. So please take it with that. I'm introducing an idea of here's what I'm thinking. If you're going to attack me and shut me down right now, you are attacking individualism, and that's not good for anyone. Just letting everyone know. No, because people have this. I thought LinkedIn would be a different place. It's really not. It's the same. Tribalism exists everywhere. Nobody wants to engage. Ad hominem attacks are far too common.
And
They will
LinkedIn, you will have attacks which are much more sophisticated because it's coming from a different set of smarter set of people, I would say. Slightly
more
smarter.
articulate.
Yeah,
Actually, I
more.
won't even say that. I think there is more at stake because when you attack someone, everybody the algorithm will make sure everybody knows who you attacked.
Oh man.
So you don't want to attack in a way that makes people go like, "Hey, ye kya bol diya?" That's all.
Yeah.
So you'll just
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is
yeah.
a funny place that way. Yes.
I find people who get triggered by new ideas and they get offended and they get angry. I'm like, you're letting the whole world know what your vulnerabilities are. Why would what offends you or can also hurt you, and you're letting everybody know this is what can hurt you. So don't feel hurt. Be
Since we're
secure. It's
talking
all
about hurt, since we're talking about people speaking, why do you think so? This was a question from one on my Instagram. The question was, why do you think content creators get so much hate in first place? What, like, they are probably not doing anything wrong, but what is that reason that triggers so much hate with content creators?
because everybody wants status. Anybody who is gaining status, especially content creators, because everybody thinks they can be a content creator, right? Usain Bolt will not get as much hate as you because people
Exactly.
feel
Yeah.
like there's no way they can be Usain Bolt. He is magical. It's crazy how he's gotten there. But someone who looks at a content creator feels like ये तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. तो ये इसमें इतनी बड़ी बात क्या है? हट, ये तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. So most people attack in a moment of deep insecurity. When I see a message of someone who's just angry and he's just saying something negative, I feel like, oh, this was said in a moment of extreme insecurity. Can you imagine how insecure you have to be? That in that moment you got triggered and you're like, this person doesn't deserve this success. I deserve it. Hence, let me write something that can pull them down. And you write something in the hope that 10 people in the comment section like your critique. And that is the high point of your day. That's the high point of your day, that 10 people in the comment section liked your comment. you know um
I think I just had a dopamine release right now.
no, but I feel I've been one of those people. I have attacked people plenty in my life, so I understand it. So now when I see it, I almost want to tell them, saying, buddy, I get the feeling, um but if you can resist that, because I was telling, who was this? I was speaking to Ranveer the other day, man. Like, social media has ensured that our brains are at the biggest risk they have ever been. Our thoughts and emotions are at the biggest risk that they have ever been in. What we think is so severely controlled by what we consume. So mastering what you think and what you feel is the biggest skill that anyone needs right now. If you can master that, you are already ahead of 75% of the people. If you can be curious, if you can channel your anger to curiosity, you are already ahead. The knowledge disparity and hence the income disparity is going to keep getting larger and larger and larger. Where do you want to be on that chart? Do you want to be here or do you want to be here? With every active moment of anger, you are making a choice of being left behind. Do you want that? You don't want it.
Man, the first time I got a hate post,
Huh.
I couldn't, I've never seen that side, and I couldn't sleep. Every ping that I got, I thought somebody commented on that. It was a different ball game
What was
altogether.
it? What was it? Do you remember?
It was about some couple of random people talking about the fact how the marketing that I do is not the right kind of marketing. Though it's easier to get back to that, saying that, boss, what have you done? Show me. Would love to have a conversation on. But the more it got was when people started joining and started to agree. So
Then you feel.
I almost was in this mind space that should I just stop doing what I'm doing, because
Yeah.
what the hell is happening? Like, this is not me. It was hitting on my brain, and I was talking to my brother as well, saying, dude, what should I respond to? He's like, stop treating that as if Forbes have written a negative article about you. Nobody's going to
No,
remember
even
that.
if Forbes has written a negative article, Vaibhav, it's one person at Forbes. The only reason they've written a negative article about you is because people will click on it. That's the only reason why.
Clickbait.
It's not the definitive. It's not the definitive word on you, right? Yeah. So I get that feeling, dude. I have not only lived through that. I have quit and also come back. So I've lived through it, felt it all. Yeah, I almost now feel like be rock bottom hitting rock bottom is a necessity for everyone. It's great
Makes you
if you.
stronger.
Yeah, I now feel so much more calmer. I now feel like I'm around for a long time. You can say what you want, but if that shit did kill me, your comment certainly
Nothing.
is not going to do that to me, and
Yeah.
it upsets people. I know that a lot of people are upset, saying, "Why is this guy still around?" I'm like,
Sorry, not sorry.
"Still here, dude.
Yeah.
Not gonna die."
Brilliant, man. This was fun. So what we're gonna do right now for the next 2 minutes is I have like 5 or 6 questions, which you could probably answer like real quick. Right. So the first thing that I had was how to be funny and not to offend people.
Um, don't be funny about things people actually care about.
Okay, that was a question back, not an answer, but okay, I'll take that. Choose one social media of all. If you had to choose one social media, which one would that be?
Oh, YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, it's the only one that pays you for success. It pays you per view. It's brilliant. Actually, no, I'm not going to be rigid on that. I think I think if you can be successful, see, being successful in every platform, there's no way am I going to give you a quick short answer, right? This is not coffee with Karan, right? Is this coffee with Vaibhav? It's not. Um, I think YouTube is a great social media platform to be successful on because it pays you, and if you're consistent, then you can make a living out of it. If you're successful on Twitter, it means you're probably extremely articulate and you're able to express your thoughts, which the upsides to that are also immense.
Yeah.
If you're successful on LinkedIn, there's a very big upside to that because you're successful with an audience that can pay. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
If you're successful on Instagram, well, brand managers will throw money at you because that's where the game is. But yeah, if success on every platform results in a different metric being that you can move, I wouldn't say be successful on one. I would say use your success on one to become successful everywhere else.
Omni-channel. Yeah, omni-channel approach.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one line about TikTok.
Love it. Great platform. Misrepresented. Crazy smart. It reminds me of wine, right? Like I loved wine
Never
because
took off in India though.
never took off in India. But wine was fantastic because every platform has that one defining feature that really tells you this is what this is about, right? Or rather, it creates a constraint on the creator that they need to express a certain way. So Twitter was 180 characters, wine was 6 seconds video, so you could really do a lot. So I think TikTok is an ingenious app that enabled video creation before anybody else did.
Yeah.
And I thought TikTok was genius because of that. TikTok, I don't know. I don't want to comment on data China. It's because I don't know enough about it, so I shouldn't comment
Sure.
on it.
Sure.
But I think the learnings from that, like the potential of that, is massive. If you can make creation super easy, right? And if the right people created the right things, it could be magical, right?
Do you think Reels have taken over TikTok in India for sure now? Will it be big
I
if not yet?
No, there are many platforms, right? Like, I think I haven't used Reels a lot, so I can't comment on it definitively. But I think it's going to be a fight for everyone. I think Indian companies will get the users in the short term, but they need to be nimble like TikTok, and they'll need that agility if they need to keep those users. And I would love to see a fucking like 100 million DAU fucking social media platform from India. It would be fucking awesome.
Amazing.
If
Yeah.
that could happen. How amazing would that be? That would be great. Yeah, but if any company could do it from India, fucking it. Let's see.
There are few players who are trying to do it, but let's
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other one which I had was, what kept you going? What kept you hustling when nobody was noticing you? Obviously, this was the mid phase that I'm talking about.
I wasn't hustling, dude. That's why nobody was noticing me.
But then you got back eventually, right?
Yeah, I think I was in survival mode. Sorry, what was the question again? What kept me going?
Yeah.
I think I spent a lot of time in the year that I was off social media understanding my own motivations, understanding why I was the way I was. It's like understanding your own API, right? This is who I am. Let's just be brutally honest about this. This is why I am like this. This is why I am arrogant. This is why I am this. This is why I like making people laugh. This is why I like attention. I spent a lot of time in therapy, which is not necessary, by the way. People think that only if you go to therapy you can. No, it's not. You need to keep your phone away and just journal every day. Write your thoughts down. You'll start seeing patterns. You recognize these patterns and you go like, this is why I think the way I think. I spent most of the time doing that, and that helped me go from survival to thriving. I think that was the big change. I became less insecure as a person after that. Yeah, and once you're at the bottom, there's the only way to go is up. So that kind of helped. I accepted my future as a non-media personality, and I was like,
Why would you say that?
I didn't want to.
Okay.
There's a book by Ron Johnson called So You've Been Publicly Shamed. Everyone should read it. It's a book that documents what happens when someone has been publicly shamed online by the whole country. This has happened to me 4 times now. I've been in the middle of the news 4 times, and the damage it does to someone's psyche. Public shaming was outlawed in the 1800s, but it's back again today because of social media, and everybody is a part of it unknowingly. So I read that book, and that book really made me understand what I felt in those few months. Oof, I get goosebumps just thinking about it right now. Everyone should read that book. Great book. Incidentally, Abhishek has asked, what are the 3 books you will suggest? Might be related to startups. I'm reading Atomic Habits right now. Enjoying it. So You've Been Publicly Shamed, I just said. What's another book? This is 3 books. I read... read all of Yuval's books. You'll enjoy it. I last read... I'm actually the last person. I have gotten in this whole startup books, let's read this circle very late. So I literally look at what Gaurav Munjal is posting on his Twitter. 10 books that are essential reads. I'll be like, okay, Gaurav, I'll get these. I'll spend $300 on Kindle and buy these right now. Atomic Habits I am enjoying. 0 to 1 I read previously that I really enjoyed. I also read Sanjay Manjrekar's autobiography just for fun. Just for fun. Yeah, because dudes, a lot of it's
You had
easy
an
to
autobiography.
say.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, the best reading advice anyone has ever said. I don't know who said this, but read what you love till you love reading. whenever I'm reading something heavy, right, like Atomic Habits can be heavy, it's like I immediately switch to, I have a book about Saturday Night Live, which is, it's a non-fiction documentation of how that show came about. I have 5 or 6. I have a book by Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, that all I've read three pages of. Every day I'll read a page of it, because non-fiction reading it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not enjoyable. It takes time to read and process. So have something that you actively are interested in. So my hack is autobiographies. Autobiographies of people that you admire. Autobiographies of people who you are extremely interested in. Just read that. You'll be fascinated by that. Keep that as the second book that you're constantly reading. So that really helps. There's a book by someone about my year at Seinfeld that I really enjoyed. It's about a guy who speaks about what it's like to write on the sets of Seinfeld, in the writing room of Seinfeld. Great book. I read that. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. I have one final question. Favorite Indian and international creator that you have, that is your favorite?
International creator? I think PewDiePie ranks number one. I think it's insane to have a 10, 12 year career the way he has had, still be relevant, still be this loved, still have, I think his engagement from 5 years ago is a little lower. I mean, the amount of views he gets, but his relevance is still around. So I think PewDiePie ranks very high up there. I also relate a lot because people have tried to cancel him so many times now. And the whole industry has, journalists actively still call him a Nazi. So I think he's great. I love PewDiePie. Favorite Indian creator. Someone that I love watching. Oh man. I'm currently addicted to Flying Beast because he's a friend of mine now, and I'm addicted to his vlogs because I'm actively I like studying. I don't just view it because it's fun. It's now a habit.
It's a serial.
It's a show. It's a show. Every night while I'm eating dinner, I'm going to quickly catch an episode of What Did He Do Today. It's addictive. So I would say I've watched a lot of his stuff. It's very difficult to now enjoy an Indian creator for the sake of enjoying, because I now start analyzing it and go like, oh, how can I use what I learned from this and into my own thing. But another creator that I really think is killing it, right? Two gaming creators, right? Alexa, stop! Two gaming creators. There is this kid called Ujjwal Gamer / Techno Gamers, who is currently, I think, the most prolific YouTuber in India. I think a lot of his audience comes from outside India, but he's clocking 1.5 million subs a month. This kid is just utterly destroying it. Techno Gamers and Ujjwal Gamer are his two channels. He's destroying it. And there's MythPat, who's also just killing it. MythPat is
also gaming,
but he's not just a walkthrough kind of guy. MythPat is really beautiful editing. He's more, I don't know if you know Laserbeam. He's more like Laserbeam, which is, it's gaming, but it's accessible for anyone to understand what he's trying to do. Like, he'll do a video on GTA 5, which is assassinating the president in GTA 5. You don't need to know GTA 5 to get what
fighting with the aliens in GTA.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple to understand. Very nicely made videos. He understands. He has an aesthetic. I really like him.
Nice.
Yeah. So these two creators that come, because I think about them. I actively study what they do. So these two creators are coming to mind. And what else, man?
Non-gaming कुछ है?
Flying Beast non-gaming तो है.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm getting Gaurav and Ritu next. Probably mid-August.
Makes sense. He really knows what he's doing. So I like that. But otherwise, no, man. Like, I don't watch shows. I don't consume anything that just for entertainment. I stopped doing that. If any consumption has to either help me in productivity, unless Netflix is paying me, I'm not watching a single show.
Yeah, matchmaking.
Yeah. Unless it's something to do with work, I don't watch it. It's very rare that I do. I think the last show that I watched was Chernobyl, like properly with absolutely zero.
It's been 1.5 years, man.
Chernobyl. Oh yeah,
Yeah?
I have not watched anything. Patal Lok. I watched Patal Lok just for
amazing
fun.
show.
But I watched Patal Lok over 1 month. Like I would watch 20 minutes, then I would stop. I'd be like, I'll come back to this episode. I watched it over 1 month. But I don't consume any content just for enjoying it anymore. There's this kid right now called Aapka Jugs. Aapka
Aapka
Jags.
Jugs.
Aapka Jags. I forget what his name is. But he does parodies of other YouTubers. Like he just mimics them. He, I think, is. I find him funny. I haven't seen all of his stuff, but yeah, it's this one kid that I found today only. I thought he was funny. Someone was killing it. Yeah. I mean, there's. I know some stuff that Zakir is up to. He's not released it yet, but some stuff that he's working on, Zakir is always killing it. He's got some phenomenal ideas.
YouTube mein.
Yeah, he's working on his. I don't know if it's going to be on. I think he's working on his stand-up specials that I've seen some stuff.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, really amazing stuff. Yeah, but on YouTube, a lot of international creators, man. I don't know if you guys. I mean, do you guys follow Nerdwriter, Every Frame a Painting?
Not a gamer, so
These are not gaming channels at all. Nerdwriter, I don't know how many people watch Nerdwriter. For Nerdwriter, beautiful, Makhan channel. Every Frame a Painting, beautiful, beautiful channel. I still watch Casey whenever I can. I enjoy that stuff. Yeah. So give me 3 tips for LinkedIn quickly, in a quick way, in the most succinct way that you can.
I mean, for you, right, it's going to be content, right? Like understand the sense of what kind of audience that you have on your network and churn out written content. Doesn't have to be videos. Churn out written thoughts on your content, and that is what will enable you to grow. Because for you, right, it's a very different case than any other people, right? For you, people know you.
Correct.
It's
I just
about
need
discovering.
to show up.
It's about discovering. Discovery only happens when you're hitting content which is surfacing the algo. Algo is dwell time. Amount of time a user is spending on your content piece to read it. I've seen a few content pieces which are short, right? So you need to go a little descriptive in terms of make it more fun, but use the 1300 characters LinkedIn has, because if you're writing, people will read it.
Oh, really? I didn't know it depends on how long they read it also.
Dwell time, amount of time a user is spending on your content piece. So the moment you do that, right? I don't know if you've noticed. So I was checking out your post, the post where I commented. The moment I commented, you saw there was a snowball effect and the engagement went up.
I haven't gotten that nerdy about LinkedIn yet.
Yeah, so I've got nerdy. So the reason that happens is the moment I commented, my audience saw your content.
Got it.
Right? And then they read up your post and then they related to my comment. And that's the whole point. So for you, it's all about understanding, gauging the audience. Like everything that we spoke about right now, right, Tanmay, would be content that can go out on your LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I just did it here. Now I don't remember anything.
That's okay, right? I'm going to give you the recording. I'm going to make nice little clips also for you.
Awesome.
Churn them out. चाहिए तो YouTube में भी डाल दो मेरे को भी.
Someone's like, he sells this for $10,000. You got it for free. Damn right. All of you got it for free, buddy. This is what happens when you hang out with me. Cool people give shit for free. Okay. So dwell time. Dwell time is one. So the longer the content, the better it is.
Correct. And then you need to get engagement, which I think you will genuinely get. Right? If I post the same piece of content, even though my number of people who see the content is higher, the amount of people who will engage is going to be lower. But the moment you post, there is this janta who says, oh, this is Tanmay. So even if I don't want to read it, I'm going to just like it and move on. And you know that happens with every social network. With LinkedIn, it's going to reward you like crazy. Right? So you can blow up. But with that being said, the other thing that you need to keep in mind is LinkedIn is not Instagram, and you cannot be a million or anything like that, anything close to it. Because audiences are very specific. No matter how big you are, you're going to take a while. Kunal Shah has 200,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? You get the point, right?
Yeah.
He's probably the OP for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
I would say don't run behind the number. It doesn't matter. Engagement is what matters. And you can see the reach, right? I'm sure you're getting some decent reach on your post. I'm assuming getting 40, 50K.
Yeah. Sometimes some posts get that, others don't.
Yeah. So right now, me being at like about 190K, my average is about 65,000, 70,000 per post. Right? So yours is going to be predominantly higher if you have the same numbers.
Got it.
So I
Got
would say
it.
just put content out, and whatever thoughts are there, right? Just consider that to be one more Twitter, man. But just make sure that you're not putting out something, like you said, right?
Oh, I hate Twitter. I would never consider this to be Twitter.
No, मतलब putting off thoughts. So मैं क्या करता हूँ, especially when I'm drinking or whatever it is, whenever I get these crazy thoughts, right, put them on Google Keep. It's not easy to remember what I actually wrote later because of how I type it, but then
Got
you
it.
get the point, right? Those
Do
thoughts are really
photos do well?
no
No. Text does better on LinkedIn, you're saying.
text, and obviously videos will get you the followers, will get you the people coming on board, but you probably cannot stream the gaming video or the reaction video
Yeah,
for
no.
YouTube.
That's
But
not, I
content
wouldn't.
piece like this would do really well. So what Ranveer did was Ranveer said, "Why don't we stream this on my on my LinkedIn?" He had live already on that. So the interview that we did, Ranveer had it going live on his LinkedIn rather than mine.
Huh.
So that did pretty well. So yeah.
Yeah, and tags really do well. I'm just saying, yeah, my average is about 100k a post at least when I make a text post. 100k watching. Yeah.
That's a very good number.
Yeah, I'm being conservative with 100k. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Understood. Oh, yeah, but LinkedIn, beautiful thing about LinkedIn is it clocks numbers over a period of time. Like it's not like on Instagram in the first 5 minutes,
Not
I
just
just
spike and
know.
dying. Yeah.
Yeah, on LinkedIn, it's like people still reacting to stuff that I said 11 days ago. It's
The
there's
life cycle is longer. Yes.
it's significantly longer.
But again, the algo is still the same, bro. Like, if your post is not picking up in the first couple of hours, it's not going to pick up. It's still the same. Like, the basic math is still the same. But things that you have to keep in back of your mind is dwell time. How will you write posts which will keep users hooked to your content and also end up putting their views? So a call to action becomes super important on LinkedIn. Every post that I put in has a call to action, needs to have a call to action. Because there is some upstream and downstream effect that they say.
So do you put a call to action like comment for better reach or please like this or
No. I'm not shit like that.
Then?
I would, let's say I'm talking about, hey, doing a webinar with Tanmay. What would be your questions that you would like to ask?
correct.
Call to action.
Got it.
If I'm talking about influencer marketing, what do you think is the
What
best
do you
examples
think?
of influencer marketing you've done? If I have nothing, I just say thoughts, question mark. Because जनता ऐसा है कि उनको बात करना है. People are there to speak. You have to give them a reason for them to speak.
Again, if you speak about something that the
They relate to.
they care about. Yeah. For more details, join 5-day workshop.
And Tanmay, I totally missed asking you this. Like, पैसे हैं YouTube में? Like, do you think India? I was talking the same with Viraj and Ranveer as well. YouTube pays shit, right? Like nothing in India.
If you are super consistent, like I think someone like a Flying Beast will make significant revenue from YouTube. I'm talking in crores a year. But that's not for everyone. That's because he does 15 million uniques a month, probably. I'm guessing
15 million.
15 million uniques with each unique watching 15 videos. Like this is the range that I'm thinking of. Just look at his numbers, right? He just did 120 million views a month, dude. Like, I just assume that I'm going by mean 50% is what he probably clocks. 50% of his audience watches 50% of his content. So that's based on that I came up with this number. Then you are talking like significant amount of money. But otherwise, no. YouTube builds distribution. You will never make PewDiePie money. You'll never make $5 million a year. You're not going to make that. YouTube is status and distribution. That's it. What do you do with that is where real money is.
Correct.